All right. This is a short video today. I wanted to clarify some things. I had a video out about 10 days ago that talks about pompous PGA professionals, and I've had a lot of mixed reviews, good and bad on that. And so I wanted to clarify on this and talk about some things that I learned. The video was about caddying for these professionals over the years. That's where I came up with those ideas and those assumptions. And I was speaking on my experience through caddying, but I also realized that my intentions with this podcast have veered away from what I wanted it to be slightly. And as of lately, I got caught up in creating controversy with no positive outlook at the end of it. I wanted to show a place of vulnerability for me to kind of come here and say that I learned a lot from that video. Um, and I wanted to speak about what that video to me really means. I have a 3-part PGA politics series where I speak on problems within the PGA, PGA of America, and PGA Tour, and how to fix those. And so, for those who don't know, this is some stats I'm going to tell you, and this is exactly why some of these PGA professionals have such a salty attitude. It's really not their fault. I know some of them have just that's their personality, but the PGA of America does not pay these professionals very well at all. The average salaries for the professional assistant or head averages about 15,000 less than the annual cost of living. So a lot of these people, guys that you are interacting with in these pro shops, they're not getting an adequate salary that's not allowing them to even afford a home. Some of these places, and you all have multiple homes, and they're having to kind of dance around and do everything you say, and they're working sometimes 60 hours a week, and it's a very stressful life, and they're having to stay in apartments. And if God bless if they went to a PGM school, they're 100, 200,000 in debt, some of them, and they're having to fight back for that, and they're on a job where it's all they can do just to survive on that salary. So a lot of these PGA professionals have this pompous attitude, not because that's just who they are, but it's because of the environment that the PGA of America has created for these guys, and it's really not that good. Again, I talk about this in my podcast, and for you PGA professionals, I do understand that the video came across like I was calling you out, and yeah, partly there's some attitude adjustments that could be made, but what I do understand is that your working environment could be a lot better. And I think if we can improve that working environment, and if we can somehow get some money into these PGA professionals' hands, mostly the head and assistant professionals, to where they can have an adequate lifestyle to flourish and have a family, then I think you would see a lot of these professionals have better attitudes. Obviously, my solutions in my podcast prevail. Please go watch them. But I could also add in that I think the members of these facilities, if you interact with one of these professionals and they have a bad attitude, first, I would know that it's probably has nothing to do with you or him. It has some underlying reason there, more than likely a working issue. Two, talk to that individual, see what's really going on, see how we can help. And I think there's a lot of members who, if they knew this, they would help these professionals out. That's kind of where I'm coming from. And I'm a human being. I'm learning a lot doing this. I have a huge chip on my shoulder. I kind of tend to fall in the Napoleon complex. Sometimes get too emotional and over dramatize stuff. I can kind of blame my Sicilian roots there. And I've gotten a lot of positive and some negative, but I don't want people to think that I'm bashing PGA professionals at the end. That was not my goal. My goal was to bring awareness. I do understand there is better ways of doing that, and therefore I am learning. And so I will continue to learn and try to get my message out there in a better fashion. So thank you for your time.